reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
65 days to the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. We on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. You're on myjoyonline.com, live on X Spaces on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. This afternoon, another group, Concerned Citizens Against Galamsey, takes to some streets of Accra, protesting once again against the devastating impacts of illegal mining. They have one demand only: an immediate end to the menace.
We want unlawful and illegal mining activities be banned with immediate effect.
They should destroy Galamsey, not our future.
What is a 24-hour economy when we do not have clean water to drink? What is it?
However, the NPP is concerned about the political fallout, with the MP for Asante Akim South expressing fears of losing his seat if a total ban on mining is implemented.
We lost all the seats. So do you think for the second time, if we say we want to break the 8 and people are crying for that ban, the current government will have the gut to put a ban on it?
And as the clock ticks for the nationwide strike by organized labor, various university campuses are voting to approve or reject the proposal.
We have given ourselves, but latest by the 8th of this month, all the voting would have been completed across all member campuses.
And we'll get to hear from the Environment, Science and Technology Minister. Is she worried at all about the illegal mining?
No, I'm not going to say anything on Galamsey. There is a steering committee.
We have details of that. Also, this afternoon, Education Ministry says strikes that have crippled public universities will be called off in the next few hours, claiming all labour concerns have been addressed.
In terms of the issue that they brought, all of them has been dealt with, and the parties left the engagement table very satisfied.
Please stay on for details. We have sports.
Ghana Football Association President Keto Kreku justifies allowances paid to referees in the Ghana Premier League.
And there are increasing calls for the police to expedite the full prosecution of staff at Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital accused of abandoning a woman in a bush, which allegedly led to her death.
I only want to see the people who are involved in this being punished to deter others from repeating things. That is what I want now.
That and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. Please do stay on for details. Many thanks for your company. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Let's dig in now. And this afternoon, a group calling itself Concerned Citizens Against Illegal Mining is out on the streets of Accra this afternoon demonstrating against the menace. The demonstration, which will run until October 5, aims to highlight the ongoing environmental destruction caused by illegal mining, locally known as Galamsey. The activists hope to draw attention not only to the arrest of their fellow protesters, but also to the ongoing fight against illegal mining, which continues to devastate Ghana's environment. The march from the University of Ghana Stadium is now heading to the Black Star Square. Well, listen to some of them who spoke to us earlier.
Those horrifying pictures of how our waters have been discolored. So you can see the Disu, the Pra, Shama Sea, even in that section. And you can see the cost of all what the cyanide and all the chemicals used to do Galamsey are happening to our kids. The unborn kids, the rate of maternal mortality has increased, the rate of abortions based on the fact that the babies cannot form well. And these are the causes, the dire causes of Galamsey on our health, on the citizens. And when citizens who are fighting for the right cause, they get arrested. So today we are here for Stop Galamsey Now, Free the Citizens. We are fighting for a good cause. They should destroy Galamsey, not our future. They should destroy Galamsey, not our future. They should destroy Galamsey, not our future.
Personally, what actually moved me to be out is the fact that I believe that water is one of the most basic and essential commodities that we all use as humans. Humans can survive without food, but nobody on this earth can survive without water. I would rather prefer clean water over all the flagship policies that the political parties, especially the two major political parties, are actually putting out there. What is a 24-hour economy when we do not have clean water to drink. What is it? They all claim to want to lead this country, but something as basic as making sure that your citizens have clean water to drink is a problem.
Well, my colleague Kenneth Jesse is monitoring this protest, joins us on the line. Kenneth, where exactly are we? We started from of course, we are heading to the Black Star Square from the Legon Stadium. Where are we now?
Well, we've got into Kaukudi, and I must say it has been a peaceful protest so far. There's, of course, heavy police presence. Both parties have agreed to conduct themselves in an orderly and peaceful manner. The march started from the Legon Stadium, as you rightly mentioned, around 9 a.m. through to the Siachi traffic, and then passed through the National Service Secretariat and then to Airport Residential. And then from there, they will be heading to the Attorney General's office to present a petition to him seeking the immediate release of the 53 remanded Stop Galamsey Now protesters, and then head to their final destination, which is the Black Star Square, where they will hold a vigil for the remanded protesters.
Well, day one is almost over, but really, how will you describe the protest so far? Peaceful?
Yes, it has been generally peaceful, especially I covered the previous one and I've covered this one also. The protesters have conducted themselves in an orderly manner. Before the start of their march, they had an engagement with the police. The police did inform them that they expect them to conduct themselves in a very peaceful manner, and if they do not comply with that, they will use forceful means to disperse the crowd. And of course, the leadership of the protesters have also agreed to that. They've advised their colleagues to conduct themselves in an orderly manner because the police is there to ensure their safety and security. So as I speak now, it has been thoroughly peaceful event.
And the message is two. One, we want mining, unlawful and illegal mining activities be banned with immediate effect. Two, our brothers and sisters who have been kidnapped, our brothers and sisters have been kidnapped and nobody is talking. Our brothers and sisters, IGP, you are not worthy of that position. Judiciary, we urge you. Judiciary, we urge you. Never co-sign the unlawfulness of the police. You must release our brothers. We have a message. Focus on the banner.
We are grateful to all true citizens for coming out to support this worthy cause. Now, this is evident that the Galamsey and other unconstitutional conduct are not affecting just some of us, but it's actually affecting everyone. And we are proud that a lot of people, even though it's a weekday, a lot of people are out here on the street to register their displeasure against the menace of Galamsey. And we are proud. I want to say that. And I want to say this is the beginning of true democracy, not the sham we've been practicing as democracy. Because a true democracy should give the will and power to the people to voice out their displeasure, to stand up to unconstitutional.
And that's a leadership of the group, Concerned Citizens Against Illegal Mining, currently protesting is day 1 out of 3-day protests all the way to the Black Star Square from the University of Ghana Stadium. Well, the pressure is on government to, among others, declare a state of emergency around river and water bodies, ban small-scale mining entirely, and review the passage of a legislative instrument that grants mining in forest reserves failure, upon which organised labour will go on a nationwide strike starting on the 10th of October. The president is holding a cabinet meeting today to discuss the demands of labour, but the Member of Parliament for Asante Akim South, Asante Akim, says government's reluctance to tackle illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey, is driven by fears of losing the December 7 polls.
We did it as a party and as a government prior to the 2020 elections. And if you can recount all our scenes in the mining communities that we were trying to control, we lost all the seats, the parliamentary seats there. So do you think for the second time, if we say we want to break the 8 and people are crying for that ban, the current government will have the guts or will find it necessary to put a ban on it in fear of losing power? And that fear, it can be any party at all.
Well, so that's the Asante Akim South MP, Kweku Asante Boateng. Let me take you to the Ashanti region, where the Environment, Science and Technology Minister, Ophelia Mensah-Hayford, is monitoring the government restoration program in mining areas. Nana Boakye Dankwa Yiadom is there for us, joins us on the line. Nana, tell us where we've been and what's really happening.
Well, Emefa, the Environment Minister has been to the Eastern region, in the Ashanti region, and she has been to Bosome, Freon, Joaso, and then Asante Akim South, Kwabrim. These constituencies are well known for Galamsey activities. She is observing the government's efforts to reclaim or restore degraded land. This is under the Ghana Landscape Restoration and Small-Scale Mining Project, which is aimed at intensifying land restoration efforts in the country. This project, we have been told, is a step towards environmental degradation caused by small-scale mining activities. And then the minister is here to observe government's efforts in reclaiming all these degraded lands. And so far, she has been to the Eastern region, drove to the Ashanti region, Bosome Fremoja, so Asante Akim South.
And what exactly is her ministry's position on the destruction caused by illegal mining?
Well, Emefa, we posed the question to the minister. We asked her whether or not her ministry has something to say with regards to the concerns being raised these days about illegal mining. The minister referred us to the steering committee set up by the president. She says that she's not going to make a comment on illegal mining. She leaves that to the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources and even to the committee set up by the president. These are her words.
Change and then restoration. The country, the nation's at crossroad. The destruction for gold has sparked outreach these days. Your ministry is also involved when it comes to talks about Galamsey. What then are you intending to do, and what is government up to? Should we call for a state of emergency as said by organized labor?
No, I'm not going to say anything on Galamsey. There is a steering committee set up by the president, chaired by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. And so there's a committee in charge of Galamsey. We are here to see the impact of this landscape restoration projects. And so we've not gone to any Galamsey site and I'm not here for Galamsey. We are for land restoration. I think that the distinction was drawn. There's land reclamation and land restoration, and we are here for land restoration and not land reclamation. Thank you.
And that's our Environment, Science and Technology Minister, Ophelia Mensah-Hayford, there, speaking to my colleague Nana Boakye Dankwa Yiadom. And the pressure is on. Organised labour is counting down to the nationwide strike on October 10. And currently, as we speak, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, is holding elections in various campuses to vote to either reject or approve the call to strike. Professor Mahmudu Akurugu is the president of UTAG.
In the case of UTAG, our constitution mandates that individual members have to vote for the declaration of an industrial action. We have started that process already. Today we have we had a National Executive Council meeting today, and the council approved that the processes to trigger the industrial actions will start. And so our independent elections committee is starting the voting process, and we have given ourselves by latest by the 8th of this month, all the voting would have been completed across all member campuses. And so and we have faith in our members who ask us to issue the pressure and to attend joint organized labor in this regard. We are sure that overwhelming majority of our members will vote for the industrial action to be declared by the 8th of this month. All campuses would have voted and results and declared by the 8th.
That's the UTAG president. My colleague Kweku Asante is monitoring events on the various campuses. Kweku, what have we found? Voting done?
We understand the University of Ghana will soon be convening to vote. They haven't started yet. Other university campuses are also planning to firm up the dates for members of the University Teachers Association of Ghana to meet either online or in person to put a vote together. And that is what Mr. Akudugu is saying, that they expect that by the 8th of this month, that vote would have concluded and they will decide whether or not they are joining that action by organized labor.
Okay, thank you very much, Kweku Asante. Well, the National Media Commission, we've been hearing from them. They say although the TUC is yet to officially inform the Commission of its intention, government has also not served any complaint over Labour's action. Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, instead, of Osua Samoa says they will meet today to decide on whether to cite labor for any wrongdoing.
Acting more pressure to force the government, for the government to do certain things ordinarily, it is not doing, rather than coming up as a union fighting for something for their members. This is like what they are fighting for is not for their members, but it's something of national concern. So, as a commission, we have been deliberating upon it and to see how to tackle it. And we are not finished yet, so we are not done it.
Well, so that's the National Labour Commission. Now, in a related development, 2 media outlets operated by Media General have been dragged before the National Media Commission by NPP MP for Ifidrasia Sokore, Dr. Nanaya Efriye, for allegedly misrepresenting and sharing false news about comments the MP made about illegal mining. The NPP MP, Dr. Efriye, was reported to have said that the NPP government will not end Galamsey as it will affect the political fortunes of the party in the 2024 election. Dr. Efriye claims his views have been misrepresented. Meanwhile, for the same comments, a medical doctor is asking the Ghana Medical Association to discipline him, who is also a medical doctor and a member of the association. My colleague Kweku Asante is still with me in the studio studying both documents and has details of it. Kweku, first, what are the contentions of the MP in this petition?
So this is a letter to the National Media Commission from lawyers for Mr. Dr. Nana Efriye, and he says that contrary to what he stated, some media houses, and in particular the Reference Media General, have unprofessionally and with mischief decided to and indeed did misrepresent and doctor the tapes containing our client's voice to cause public disaffection and hatred towards our client, aimed at tarnishing Honorable Dr. Nana Efriye's hard-won reputation as a medical doctor, politician, and MP par excellence. That is what the statement says.
But have we been able to reach the MP himself and the media house for comment?
We've reached out to the lawyers of the Member of Parliament. They say they are waiting for the National Media Commission to provide a response from the media house. We've also reached out to the media house this morning. They also say that yes, this complaint has been forwarded to them, and in fact, we've seen a copy of a letter from the National Media Commission to Media General asking them to respond to these issues. And when they do respond, they will speak to it later on.
Meanwhile, there's a petition before the Ghana Medical Association for disciplinary actions against the MP. What are the details?
Well, so this is from Dr. Med Samuel Aye, who works at the University of Ghana Hospital. He says that those comments said to have been made by Dr. Nana Efriye saying that the government will not stop illegal mining goes against the medical profession, for which reason he must actually be punished. He says the statement captured in a viral video has filtered through both traditional and social media, receiving massive public backlash and opprobrium. These words are in sharp contradiction to the GMA's position in a press release on the 6th September by GMA and other allied health organizations. So he wants the GMA to take disciplinary action against Dr. Nana Efriye.
Thank you very much, Kweku Asante. Let me take you back onto the labor front, and there's an end in sight for the many industrial actions that have crippled public tertiary institutions. A number of public universities have indefinitely postponed the reopening of schools due to strikes declared by staff unions. The Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana, Teachers and Educational Workers Union, TEU, as well as the Ghana Association of University Administrators and FUSAG have all laid down their tools for weeks now to demand improved conditions of service. The Education Ministry has been meeting these unions for 2 days in a row in a bid to get them to return to work. Spokesperson for the ministry, Kwesi Kwatin, says all their issues have been resolved.
The Minister for Education, Dr. Yaoseduchum, intervened and spearheaded the conversation to be able to make sure that our striking workers go back to work. I can confirm, of course I was part of the meeting as well, so I can confirm that deliberations have been very successful. As of now, we are closer to building a consensus in terms of the issue that they brought. All of them has been dealt with, and the parties left the engagement table very satisfied. But in terms of suspending or calling off the strike, we have agreed that the union leadership consults their constituents before they come out to communicate same. So any moment from now, we should be hearing from the various unions that went on strike, hopefully communicating to Ghanaians the decision that they've taken after the meeting. But we are very hopeful that the strikes will be called off as soon as the unions confirm same. So by and large, I would say that we were able to build a very strong consensus, and we found a middle ground.
That's the Ministry of Education spokesperson Kwesi Kwate. National chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Ghana, George Anson, says they have largely had an agreement with government, but the decision to call off the strike lies with the National Council.
Yes, we had 2-day meeting. Yesterday we ended the meeting. We have agreed with government to some extent, but that does not mean that we are calling the strike off. We have told government that we are going to consult our various national executive councils to take a decision. So that is it. But
well, we'll take a quick break here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM, live on myjoyonline.com, live in all 16 regions on X Spaces on Facebook. Midday News is supported by Petrol Soul Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. We've been hitting the streets, joining the concerned citizens against Galamsey as they take to some streets of Accra, protesting once again against the devastating impacts of illegal mining. One demand only: an immediate end to the menace. We return from the break with sports. Health advocate urging the police to expedite the full prosecution of staff at Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital accused of abandoning a woman in the bush, which allegedly led to her death.
I only want to see the people who are involved in this being punished to deter others from repeating things. That is what I want now.
And I have bad news. Ghana has recorded the first case of Mpox virus with 230 suspected cases in the 16 regions. Calm down though. I'll give you details after the break. Please do stay.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I to take it through as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win Nistika Kessie. Prizes are Kessie in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Thanks for staying with us. It's time for sports. Mubarak.
Yes, Emefa. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so in the Ghana Premier League, match officials receive 1,100 Ghana cedis per match, which sparks speculations that the amount makes them susceptible to bribes. But GFA President Ketty Okreku disagrees, insisting that the allowance is an improvement from what his administration took over.
We had come from a time that via the ANAS expose we had lost 78 referees. At the time, each referee was taking home 660 Ghana cedis. We have taken it to 1,100 Ghana cedis. We had also entered into a relationship with STC where match officials paid 50% of their transport costs. In fact, we had even offered to pay referees on weekly basis, which they objected to. A fact also. All our referees are not on full-time schedules. They are fully employed elsewhere. A lot of them are teachers, some are doctors, some are lecturers, some are bankers. They have their full-time jobs already.
Yeah, so that's GFA boss Ketu Kreku. Back to you, Emefa.
Thank you very much, Mubarak. Now, Ghana has confirmed the first case of Mpox virus, 230 suspected cases in 16 regions. Head of our health desk, Fred Smith, joins me in studio. Fred, what are we learning?
Well, we have cases in all the regions, as you've mentioned, and this is in the Bia West. The confirmed cases in the Bia West was confirmed at the National Public Health and Reference Laboratory just 2 days ago. And the Ghana Health Service has activated its response. There's surveillance in place. There's laboratory testing going on. However, there is a difficulty here. The Ghana Health Service is saying that they have limited funding to support sustained laboratory testing and outbreak investigations. They also have limited funding to support sample transportation, especially from hard-to-reach areas such as the affected districts. Need for social support for suspected or confirmed cases who need some community isolation. And in the particular case that we have in the Bia West, for instance, is just a very small part of the cases they've recorded in the Western North region. But the biggest cases we're having in the Greater Accra region, with about 37.8 of the suspected cases, and then followed by the Central, Volta, and then the Ashanti regions.
I'm praying that the case count does not go up, but is Mpox deadly?
Yeah, it is very deadly, and the Africa Centers for Disease Control has indicated that just this year alone, there have been 517 cases, confirmed cases, and there's about 3% fatality for these cases.
That's the head of our health desk, Fred Smith, there. And we all need to know what we ought to do to prevent the spread of the Mpox. But also, staying on the health front, health advocates calling for the swift prosecution of medical officers at the Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital who were accused of abandoning a woman in a bush instead of providing the necessary medical care. You would recall that on the 13th of June this year, the unidentified female patient was allegedly abandoned in a bush near Ojobi in the Gumua East District by hospital staff, leading to her death. Almost 4 months on, the Health Minister, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, has referred to the conduct of the medical staff involved to the CID and the Attorney General's Office for further investigation and possible prosecution. There's more in this report.
After 6 meetings, interviews with 20 medical staff, the 5-member committee could not establish the actual identity of the deceased. The committee established that the woman did not hail from Ojobi and had never lived there. The nurse who attended to her also couldn't gather information due to the woman's incoherent answers. The committee then concluded she was mentally ill, the discharge process and her reintegration were deemed inappropriate. Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy has therefore referred the case to the police, CID and Attorney General for further investigation with possible prosecution of 6 staff members. Internal sanctions were also recommended. Patient Rights Watch Ghana's president Isaac Giabo Fori is, however, calling for a regulatory overhaul for unclaimed patients.
There are countless number of unclaimed patients in our health centers. So I think that this matter is a wake-up call to the ministry to fashion out clear policy guidelines on how unclaimed patients can be identified, who is an unclaimed patient, and then what to make of them in terms of their larger management and care.
We can now hear from the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Health Policy, Dr. Anaba, who says he doubts the outcome of the CID's yet to be conducted investigations. He wants all those involved prosecuted.
Let me send some thumbs up for the team that was set up to investigate the death of the woman that was abandoned at Winneba. They did a very good job. I am, however, not happy about the way the administrative staff have not been penalized by the Ghana Health Service and the Minister for Health for administrative misconduct and then for physical misconduct. This punishment can be meted separately from the criminal misconduct that should be proven by a court of competent jurisdiction. We should have been told that the administrative staff and the hospital staff who were involved in this matter were punished in a way for us to know that you can't just do anything at all in the hospital as a manager and go free.
Let's get into the election headquarters now.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants (CIMA) and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants (AICPA), together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Shopbox Technologies, a convenient service, Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development, and Syntex Tanks. A year strong, a year tough.
And the Northeast Regional NDC says it is poised to win all 6 parliamentary seats in the region. The NDC currently holds 2 seats, with the NPP holding 4. The Regional Communications Officer of the party, Alhassan Gafaru, and the Deputy Regional Youth Organizer, Fatao Karande, says it's possible because the NPP presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who hails from the region, has failed the people. Well, my colleague Maxwell Ogbagba is with the team. We'll get his report subsequently. And the Asante Akim MP to the second has also endorsed the great transformational plan of independent candidate Alan Kwejo Manting. Listen.
By Krata Mirimu, Ukraine, some more kind. Mean kind see, Nanso, and some woman walk Canada. Some parts of Krata, Neniswa, any dear, nature, and Cabeza Sagana.
The content of this document, if really implemented, will see massive improvement in the country.
Officials say was walk pro no baby obeshi be any penny be see and to young Yokuna said yes, chrono. Was will be some identity, and some of can walk in action.
And that's the Asante Akim MP to the second. And guess who's here for MNJ? Quick, Asante, what are people talking about on social media?
Free the Citizens is trending. In fact, it's been trending the whole morning. And this one says, we are on the move, diverting peacefully. We checked in on the protesters at the airport station and they are okay, so we moved. So while the protest was happening, the protesters stopped at the airport police station, went on to check on some of the 2 persons detained there. And so that is trending on social media.
Masa Gugu Hokaka, this segment you have to give us some
so I have to take it easy.
Take it easy for us. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Thanks for your company. Living Word with Pastor Mansa Otabil is up next. God has not given us the spirit of fear. Do stay.